administrasi perkuliahan, serta Wi-Fi area, lab praktikum, dan Masjid Kiai Haji Ahmad Dahlan. Program studi akuntansi juga menaungi langsung himpunan mahasiswa akuntansi yang mampu menjadi wadah bagi mahasiswa untuk mengembangkan soft skill di bidang organisasi serta pengembangan diri. Selain didukung oleh fasilitas yang mumpuni, atmosfer akademis juga dibangun melalui tenaga pengajar yang telah tersertifikasi secara akademis maupun praktis, yang terlibat aktif dalam kegiatan akademis dan profesi berskala nasional maupun internasional sebagai upaya pembaharuan ilmu akuntansi yang dimiliki. Proses pembelajaran juga mengacu pada kurikulum berbasis kompetensi yang merujuk pada KKNI atau Kerangka Kualifikasi Nasional Indonesia melalui pendekatan metode pembelajaran Student Centered Learning, Discussion, Presentation, dan Problem Solving. Program studi akuntansi selalu berupaya mewujudkan terciptanya akuntan prospektif, yaitu profesional, responsif, personal confident, kreatif, trust, dan inovatif pada setiap mahasiswa lulusan program studi akuntansi Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta.
Selama saya kuliah 3,5 tahun di Prodi Akuntansi UMY, itu banyak hal yang bisa saya pelajari. Akuntansi manajemen, akuntansi keuangan, itu saya gunakan untuk mengatur biaya, mengatur laporan keuangan, dan yang paling penting adalah kita bisa mengetahui posisi bisnis kita.
Apa yang saya dapatkan ketika kuliah di Prodi Akuntansi memberikan bekal yang cukup untuk saya menjalankan pekerjaan, juga merintis usaha sampai dengan sukses menuju persaingan global dengan tanpa mengesampingkan faktor dari ridho ilahi. Terima kasih.
Berbagai upaya yang dilakukan program studi akuntansi Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta melalui pemberian fasilitas penunjang hingga menjalin kerjasama dengan instansi dalam negeri maupun luar negeri merupakan proses penciptaan atmosfer akademis yang kondusif, serta peningkatan prestasi bagi civitas akademis program studi akuntansi Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. Diawali dengan kesadaran bahwa kecerdasan dan kesejahteraan umat adalah tanggung jawab bersama, sehingga memberikan yang terbaik dalam membentuk generasi penerus bangsa adalah satu tanggung jawab yang patut ditempuh untuk menjadi yang unggul dan islami dalam dunia akuntansi nasional maupun internasional. Program studi akuntansi Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta, unggul dan islami.
Assalamu'alaikum. Hi there. I am Dr. Hussam, lecturer of accounting in International Program of Accounting, IPAC UMA. The IPAC students are conditioned to be superior and have characters. The academic environment that shapes them among lectures, assignments, discussion, presentation, using international language. Our guest lecturer, professor, visiting companies, students exchange, credit transfer that make them global minded. I can speak Indonesian, but I always speak English as international when teach and discussion with the students to formalize them with the global atmosphere. The enthusiasm of students, the seriousness of program manager, and a conducive environment, for sure IPAC alumni will be a superior in accounting profession with Islamic values.
Yogyakarta. The soul of Java. the cultural richness kept maintained, bearing unpretentious souls, creating young intellectuals who are ready for the world. Here, born Muhammadiyah Association, a progressive Islamic organization, engages in various fields of life. One of them is education. By the idea of Professor Dr. Kahar Muzakir on the 1st of March 1981, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta presents to enrich young intellectuals' competence, actualizing Muslim scholars who are noble, competent, confident, able to develop science and technology, useful for the nation and world developments.
Accounting Department Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta is a leading accounting department in Indonesia. This department has got A accreditation since 2005, when only a few accounting departments can get this accreditation status. There are many achievements that students have received. Winner in a number of capital market competition, winner in scientific competition, and recently winner of National Enterprise Resource Planning 2018 competition. That 5 students of this department will represent Indonesia to compete in Singapore. Therefore, this department has produced competitive alumni that they can compete in job market while maintaining Islamic values. I believe by joining Accounting UMA, you have made a very good decision to be a successful person in this world and the hereafter, inshallah.
Accounting Department of Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta was established in 1992. Our mission is to produce Bachelor of Accounting who master in science and technology, have a good characters, integrity, and global insight. To support the graduate competence, we provide extra services such as training and certification, like Islamic banking training, taxation training, internal audit training, external audit training, and most management training. Meanwhile, we also provide certification such as Enterprise Resource Planning from Munsun SIM and Associate Certified Public Accountant from Indonesian Institute of Public Accountant. To face the business changes in the era of Industry 4.0, the curriculum of Accounting Department focuses on ability to utilize information technology and ability to take strategic decisions. We expect that Accounting Department can keep contribution in producing human resources who are excellent, Islamic, and have a global insight.
Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta has set up a new tagline of Young and Global. In order to speed up this mission, the Department of Accounting proposed to establish International Program of Accounting Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. This program is expected to be the driving force for continuous improvement in providing better services and facilities in education system at the accounting department. The increasing needs of graduates with good qualification and international recognition drive the accounting department to focus on developing main competencies of technology information, international financial reporting standards, public sector, and Islamic accounting. Under the professional management towards the world-class quality with a vision to become a global-oriented accounting department by focusing on strengthening faith and piety to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, mastering science and technology of accounting, and being the center of excellence, which is beneficial for people. With the missions of being actively involved in the nation's development process, enlightenment of people through 3 pillars of higher education, and creating young, noble, and global accountants. Since 2005, Accounting Department Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta has been accredited A. The establishment of academic atmosphere and the development of competitive character are improved continuously. As a result, the public trust to the accounting department is even higher, which could be seen from the large number of applicants. Learning in the accounting department of Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta is supported with good quality of supporting facilities, such as library, where students can access the relevant and appropriate references, such as e-journal and e-book. Administration room, where students get administrative services, and Wi-Fi area, laboratory for practicum, in Kiai Haji Ahmad Dahlan Mosque. Accounting departments also directly supervises Accounting Students Association, which can serve as a facility for students to develop soft skills in the fields of organization and self-development. Besides supported by qualified facilities, academic atmosphere is also established by the certified lecturers academically and practically, who are actively involved in academic and professional activities nationally or internationally, as an effort to renew the accounting science ode. The learning process also refers to the competency-based curriculum, referring to Indonesian National Qualification Framework through learning method approaches of centered learning, discussion, presentation, and problem solving. Accounting department also tries to create prospective accountants who are professional, responsive, confident, creative, trusted, and innovative on each graduate student of Accounting Department of Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. Various efforts carried out by Accounting Department, such as providing supporting facilities and establishing cooperation with domestic and foreign agencies, are parts of the process to create a conducive academic atmosphere and increase the achievement of academic community of Accounting Department of Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. Being with realization that intelligence and people's well-being are the shared responsibilities. Thus, providing the best for the next generation is one responsibility that should be implemented to become excellent and Islamic in the world of accounting nationally and internationally. Accounting Department of Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta, excellent and Islamic.
Yogyakarta. Jiwa dari Pulau Jawa. Kekayaan budaya yang terus terjaga melahirkan jiwa-jiwa bersahaja, menciptakan para intelektual muda yang siap mendunia. Di sini terlahir Persyarikatan Muhammadiyah, organisasi Islam progresif yang bergerak di berbagai bidang kehidupan. Salah satunya
Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. This is general lectures as our speaker, Dr. Ahmad Monir bin Abdullah. If everyone are ready to start, I will open these sessions. Before start, I remind you to open your camera and unmute your audio. The Honorable Dr. Ahmad Monir bin Abdullah as a speaker for today's event, the Honorable Penny Nugraini, SE, MSc, AK, CA, as a moderator for today's event, the Honorable Dia Eka Ari Sekarjatiningsih, SE, MSc, QIA, AK, CA, the Honorable Dr. Harjanti Widyastuti, SE, MSI, The Honorable Dr. Eti Kresnawati, SE, MSc, the Honorable Fitri Wahyuni, SE, MSc, as Head of International Program of Accounting, and the Honorable Accounting Lecturers and the participants who attend today's general lectures. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin, wassalatu wassalamu alal asrofil anbiya'i wal mursalin, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain, amma ba'du. Praise your glorious presence of God Almighty who give his guidance and mercy of Allah to all of us so that we can attend the general lectures, even accounting for Islamic financial transactions as a speaker, Dr. Ahmad Monir bin Abdullah, organized by International Program of Accounting on this morning with healthy state. Blessings and greetings, let us always devote to our Lord, the Prophet Muhammad, who had brought us from the time of Jahiliyah heading into the era that is full of inayah. Let me introduce myself. My name is Widya Nurul Jannah as the Master of Ceremony. Here, I would like to show you about the agendas we arranged today. The first agenda is opening. The second agenda is speech by the Head of Accounting Department, UMY. The next agenda is general lecture sessions. The next agenda is Q&A sessions. The next agenda is photo sessions. And the last agenda is closing. Let us start the first agenda, that is opening, by reciting Basmalah all together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The next agenda is speech by the Head of Accounting Department, which will be delivered by Mrs. Dia. For Mrs. Dia, time is yours.
All right, thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. How about my voice? Is it clear enough? Yes. All right. Okay, Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, all praises and thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all of his grace and guidance. And we also send our salawat and salam for our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, good morning, everyone. It is really a great pleasure to meet you all in this really great opportunity this morning. And let me express my gratitude first for our distinguished speakers today, our visiting professor, Dr. Ahmad Monir from Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia. Good morning, Dr. Monir.
Good morning.
Yeah, okay, I hope you are.
Me.
Yeah,
Thank you
okay.
for inviting me.
I hope that you all are in a good condition, right? In a healthy condition. And also, I would like to express thanks to all of the participants today in our guest lecture sessions, and also for all of the colleagues, all of the lecturers from Accounting Department, Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. And also Ibu Penny as moderator. Good morning, Ibu Penny. And thanks also to all of the committee for this event today. For Ms. Fitri Wahyuni as the Director of International Program on Accounting, right? Okay, ONY, and all of the staff also. And lastly, for all of our beloved students. Okay, I think that this event really will be the beneficial moment for us, right? To learn, to gain insight, especially related to accounting for Islamic financial transactions. And I also really expect that this will be the valuable moments for all of the students here, right? Concerning also that they will observe deeply in the development of Islamic accounting in Indonesia. So I believe that Dr. Ahmad Monir will give and will deliver his lecture due to all of his experience, right, today. And well, I think for short, then have a nice lecture for everyone, right? I hope that this will give all of us barakah. And thank you again, Dr. Ahmad Monir, right? I expect that the wonderful relationship and also cooperation with Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia will continue also for the future, right? And also will be broadened in other aspects, including research and also other academic activities. Okay, then by reciting Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, yeah, I hope that this event will be conducted right and in a good condition. Okay, and I also apologize if there are maybe some unsatisfactory aspects, right, Dr. Ahmad Monir from us. All right, then, thank you and have a nice lecture. Wassalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Mrs. Dia, for the speech. The next agenda is general lecture sessions with the topic Accounting for Islamic Financial Transactions. This event will be guided by our moderator, Mrs. Penny. She is an accounting lecturer of Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta and currently study on doctoral program at International Islamic University Malaysia. For Mrs. Penny, time is yours.
Thank you, Vidya. Okay, can you hear my voice?
Yes.
Yes, Miss.
Yeah. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Good morning for all the lecturer and student. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Today we can participate in a good discussion. We have a public lecture with the topic of accounting for Islamic financial transaction that will be delivered by Dr. Ahmad Monir bin Abdullah from Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia, UKM. Okay, it is interesting when we discuss about Islamic accounting because the development of Islamic accounting is in line, with the growth of Islamic financial institution. But what is Islamic accounting? And why we need Islamic accounting? Okay, this question will be answered in this lecture. Okay, now before we start with the lecture, I will read the curriculum vitae of our speaker, Dr. Ahmad Monir bin Abdullah. He is a senior lecturer in National University of Malaysia, Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia, UKM. He has experience as an academician as well as a practitioner. Dr. Monir also a chartered accountant registered under the Malaysian Institute of Accountant. And also he have working experience with multinational companies like KPM, Sidril Ltd, Sapura Kencana Berhad, and Kumpulan Firma Berhad. Before joining to UKM, Dr. Monir also have experience as a lecturer in Uni KL. And also Dr. Monir has published the article in the reputable journal. You can see many articles have been published by Dr. Okay, and below the detail of Dr. Monir academic background, he got his PhD from INSIF Malaysia 2018 and also undergraduate and master degree from International Islamic University Malaysia, and also he has many certification, such as Islamic Financial Planner and also AQIF. I hope that I'm not wrong in read the certification, and also other certification. Okay, now we will start with the lecture by Dr. Monir. Assalamualaikum, Dr. Monir.
Waalaikumsalam.
How are you?
Fine, Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Thank you for inviting me to become the visiting professor for Muhammadiyah University.
Yeah, welcome to UMY, Dr. Aldo virtually.
It's an honor for me.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, Muhammadiyah is under Prof. Hamka previously, right? Centran Muhammadiyah, something like that.
Yeah, actually, in every city we have the Muhammadiyah University. But they have different management actually.
Muhammadiyah is more to like in Malaysia we have Universiti Islam Antarabangsa Malaysia, UI, International Islamic University, is similar to like Islamic University, right? Muhammadiyah.
Yeah. Okay, Doctor, you have 1.5 hours to explain to us about Islamic accounting. Okay, time is yours, Doctor.
Thank you so much, Dr. Penny. Okay, it's an honor for me to be invited to this university to become the visiting lecturer, visiting professor for this subject. Okay, today I'm going to share about the Islamic accounting. This subject is quite popular in Malaysia, in UKM itself. Okay, let me share the introduction to the Islamic. Okay, I hope that you can see the slide.
Yeah, Doctor.
All right. Okay. So a little bit background. I used to work as a auditor previously. KPMG is not KPM. Actually, it's KPMG.
Okay.
So my mistake there. All right. So that's why I become a chartered accountant, because I practice auditing and accounting for more than 10 years. All right. So this subject is Islamic accounting is quite interesting because why? Because the growing interest in the Islamic finance, Islamic banking and finance throughout the world, even in UKM, Islamic accounting is highly demanded by the student. Whenever we open up the registration for this subject, is fully booked within 1 or 2 days. Okay, so let's see the statistic about the international Islamic banking and finance. You can see that for more than 10 years right now, almost 20 years, the growth rate for the Islamic banking and finance can reach double-digit growth. So it's a rich the accumulated asset is 2.4 trillion by 2017. Now I believe it's bigger lah. Why so? Why people interested on the Islamic banking and finance? Because it seems to like whenever there is economic downturn, for example, in 2008, there is economic downturn and Islamic banking and finance not affected. It keep on growing, even though the rest of the sector in the banking sector highly affected by the financial crisis in year 2008, except for the Islamic banking and finance, where it keep on growing. Okay, and the sukuk sector is Islamic banking and sukuk sector is the one that contribute the most to the Islamic banking and finance. Okay, we can see the statistic here. Okay. Okay, and which country has developed Islamic economy for Islamic finance? So the infrastructure is so far, whenever we compare the infrastructure in terms of the measurement of the Islamic financial asset and the number of Islamic financial institution, the governance, the role, financial index, score and disclosure, awareness, article published, financial institution research paper, whatever. Okay, whenever we compile all those criteria, Malaysia have scored 176 index for Islamic finance. So compare again the Middle East countries like Bahrain, UAE, or even Indonesia itself. So Indonesia can score around 35. So that means that Malaysia, we concerned about the Islamic banking and finance sector more compared to others. So we even have a university focus solely on the Islamic banking and finance, which is INSEAF. INSEAF in KL here. All right. Okay. Component of the Islamic financial market. So what is the financial market here? We have Islamic banking, we have Islamic wealth management, we have the Islamic takaful, Islamic insurance, we call it takaful, and then we have Islamic capital market. So definitely all this this component, there is a lot of transaction. If we look at this transaction, if we record it under the conventional accounting, what we know right now is IFRS financial standard. If we use the IFRS financial standard to record the transaction among these Islamic banking, Islamic wealth management, whatever, definitely is not going to fulfill our aim. The Islamic bank Islamic accounting, Islamic banking and finance aim. Okay. Why? Because there's a lot of difference between the conventional accounting and Islamic banking. Okay, let's go further. The definition of accounting. What is the definition of accounting? I believe that you guys from the Islamic banking background, so you know what is the accounting. It is the identification, recording, classification, interpreting, and communication economic event to permit user to make informed decision. This is the definition since 1966. Conventional accounting aims to permit informed decision by user whose ultimate purpose is to efficiently allocate scarce resource available to their most efficient and profitable use by providing information efficiency in the market. Apparently, this is achieved by the user making the appropriate buy, sell, or hold decision on the investment. So, the conventional, they're more concerned about the right decision making. So, whenever all those transactions we record, we record, and we publish it, then what is the purpose? So that the end user can utilize that information to make a better judgment, better decision. So this does it end with the final decision here. But Islamic accounting is go a step further, whereas we are concerning about the court point of view. We want to ensure that whatsoever that we did, those transactions got the blessing from the God. That's our end and result that we want. So it's a bit different compared to the conventional. Okay, comparative definition. Islamic accounting can be defined as the accounting process which provide appropriate information, not necessarily limited to financial data, to stakeholder of an entity, which will enable them to ensure that the entity is continuously operating within the bound of the Islamic Sharia, delivering on its socio-economic objective. Islamic accounting is also a tool which enables Muslims to evaluate their own accountability to God. So the Islamic accounting is a bit different. Why? Because we want to ensure that all those transactions is complying to the Sharia requirement, Sharia framework. So what is Sharia framework? What is Sharia requirement? Sharia requirement, what is soever that imposed on the Muslim based on the Quran and Sunnah. So if the end mean of the conventional accounting is to ensure that the company is profitable, we Islamic accounting, we not only see that whether you are profitable or not, whether that profit generated from the halal source, they comply with the Sharia requirement, then it's okay. If you are not comply to the Sharia requirement, then those profit is not halal source, therefore we cannot accept it. So so in the end of the day, we want to ensure that the God satisfied with whatsoever that we do with the transaction. Okay. If there is any question from the audience, please raise your hand so that we can do two-way communication immediately if you want to ask anything. Okay. So okay, and if I go too fast, please stop me, because I'm quite familiar with the subject, but the audience, I don't know what is your exposure to the Islamic accounting. So if there's any question, just raise your hand. Okay. Okay, Islamic accounting and accountability. Okay, in the end of the day, we put Allah at the end. So whatsoever the transaction we do, we ensure that Allah is satisfied with our transaction, our action. Okay. So why is this important? The Islamic accounting, why is it so important compared to the conventional accounting? Conventional accounting definitely is important, but because of the growing demand of the financial product, financial banking, Islamic banking, we have Islamic finance, we have the Islamic product selling in the market. We have the financial institution. We have, let's say that in Malaysia, we have Islamic university, we have Islamic college, we have Islamic banking. So all these institution, whenever they do the transaction, they want to ensure that they comply with the Islamic accounting instead of complying with the conventional accounting, because their objective is to ensure that the Sharia rule and ruling is applied in their institution. So the conventional accounting cannot complement their need here. Okay, the importance of Islamic accounting. So let's go to the slide. Islamic accounting identifies socio-economic events and transactions that are measured in financial and non-financial terms, and such information is used to ensure that Islamic organization in all respects comply with the Sharia and achieve the socio-economic objective promoted by the Islam. So Islamic accounting is not only look at the transaction itself, they also look at the socio-economic event. They look at the zakat, how much zakat that the company paid, what is the socio-economic event that the company have done. For example, CSR, what is the CSR sedekah or CSR that the company have done, and how much profit that they generate, and how much the portion for the zakat is available from that company to be paid to the public or to the society at where the company operate. So there is a major difference between conventional accounting and Islamic accounting, that is the disclosure of information, because the investment criteria of Muslim may be different from non-Muslim. So we have a different requirement. In Malaysia, all the public listed classified whether that public listed is Sharia compliant or non-Sharia compliant. For example, we have Genting. Genting operate casino. So we label that Genting Berhad as non-Sharia compliant, and we label Astro. Astro provide the television movies, television entertainment. Yes. Is there any question, please? Right. Okay. So okay. So whenever you have you want to differentiate between Sharia compliant and non-Sharia compliant, we have to ensure that the transaction, the financial transaction, the accounting transaction, complying to the requirement of the Sharia. So therefore, we need the people with the background of the Islamic accounting, people with the knowledge of the Islamic accounting, to do the auditing or to do the double entries for the company. Okay. That's why in Malaysia also the demand for the Islamic auditor keep on increasing from year to year, because the number of the financial institution, Islamic financial institution in Malaysia is keep on growing, and they apply the Islamic accounting as well. So because of that, the requirement for auditor that have the knowledge about the Islamic accounting is keep on growing. Okay. Islamic accounting can be defined as an accounting process that provide the necessary information to stakeholders to enable them to make decisions and continue to operate in accordance with the Islamic Sharia law while meeting the socio-economic objective. Besides the complying to the Sharia ruling, we also want to ensure that the company profitable, so that whenever the company profitable, we can pay the salary whatsoever. and we want to ensure that the profit is derived from the halal source. Okay. And if we study further, inshallah, in the future, we will identify what is the percentage of the halal and non-halal transaction is allowed for a company. Okay. Okay, let's move on to this slide. Islamic accountability. Okay, Muslim believe in the hereafter. So whenever we believe in the hereafter, we know that we're going to be questioned whenever we in the hereafter, so that we accountable for whatsoever that we did in this world. Okay, so we want to ensure that whatsoever, whenever we being audited in the hereafter, we want to ensure that all our transaction in this world is Sharia compliant, so that we can answer smoothly in the hereafter. Okay. All business activities should be in line with the Sharia or Islamic law, including business. So it's not only about our ibadah, our fasting, our salat, our hajj. It also include the financial transaction, the business that we do in this world have to be complying to the Islamic Sharia law. In life, people transact through institutions such as business, club, association, most. The socio-economic activities are classified, recorded, and summarized using a philosophic filter, Sharia and Islamic accounting standard, to produce accounting statement which people act on. So all those transactions, we using the Islamic filter, philosophic filter, to filterize if that transaction is not Islamic, not Sharia compliant. So what is the action that we should do? Let me give you one example. Previously, we have a public listed company. Our company name Asia. Asia is very cheap, low cost air carrier, low cost flight. So previously, Asia is a Sharia compliant, and we give them a Sharia compliant label. So as a Muslim, we can invest in that company. As time goes by, Asia, the flight is abroad, go to UK, US, whatsoever, and then they start selling alcohol, and the selling of the alcohol exceed 5% of that company revenue. Whenever it exceeds 5% of the total revenue of the company, the level of Sharia compliance is no longer applicable to them. So right now, Asia is a non-Sharia compliant. So as a Muslim investor in Malaysia, it's not advisable to invest in that company. So it's affected the share price. And now if we look at the share price, it's keep on dropping, and because of maybe the COVID, the SARS, whatever. So the share price is not so good as compared to previously, compared to a few years ago. All right. Okay. If the information produced is useful and appropriate to make economic or social decision through a moral framework, then the user will act in a way to correct their sin and increase good behavior, leading to the God pleasure in the hereafter. So whenever we know that Asia is not Sharia compliant, we as a Muslim investor, if we have the share in Asia, we should sell off immediately the share and buy another company with its Sharia compliant. So this is to ensure that we comply with the God law, and we don't have to be questioned in the hereafter. Okay, so this kind point of view is not exist in the conventional accounting, only exists in the Islamic accounting. On the other hand, if the accounting information system misinformed or does not provide appropriate information, the business might be undertaking sinful activities. The responsibility for which will be borne by the investor as he is a participant. This may lead them to hell. So if we don't classify them as a Sharia compliant or not non-Sharia compliant, therefore the Muslim investor will invest in a non-Sharia compliant companies, and this lead them to earn a sinful income from that company, and this will lead them to hell. And we want to avoid this kind of hell action, activities, sinful activities. So therefore, the need for the Islamic accounting is there to identify whether this company is Sharia compliant or not. Is there any question from the ground?
Okay, we have one question in chat room, Doctor. You want to answer now or you will finish first?
Let me check what do they ask.
I can read it for you.
Oh yeah, please.
Okay, yeah, this from Joe. I'm not sure the name. Yeah, why the objective of financial accounting for Islamic bank are different from the objective of financial accounting for conventional bank?
Why the objective of the financial accounting for Islamic bank are different from the objective of the financial? Just like what I explained just now, the objective is quite different. The Islamic bank, they want to ensure that all the financial transactions comply to the Sharia requirement, and they cannot compete all the conventional bank. All the conventional bank, their transaction is like giving out the loan. So whenever they're giving out the loan, they impose interest. Interest is not Sharia compliant, it's haram thing. So therefore, the Islamic bank, they're selling a product. Instead of giving out the loan, they're selling a product. So they earn profit from the product. So why we have different objective? Because the objective is that we want to ensure that the Muslim do the business in compliance with the Sharia principle, Sharia framework, to ensure that they go to the in the hereafter, they go to the heaven instead of go to the hell. And we believe that whatsoever that the Sharia compliant is for the best interest of the Muslim in this world and the hereafter. So we believe that interest is not a good practice in this world because it is oppressive, and we want to ensure that the justice is prevail in this world. So therefore, we comply with the Sharia ruling, so that we not only satisfy the God, we not only satisfy the God law, we also want to ensure that the justice is prevail in this world. Okay, all right. So I hope that I answered the question. Let's move on to the next slide here. The difference of the Islamic accounting from the conventional accounting. So the objective of the providing the information Islamic accountability versus decision usefulness. So Islamic accountability for the Islamic accounting is more toward Islamic accountability, and compared to the conventional is more toward like decision usefulness, to ensure that the user can make better decision, informed decision from their audit report. So the Islamic accounting, they are more toward like complying to the Sharia rules and ruling, comply with the Sharia requirement. Okay, what type of event and transaction is identified, monetary and non-monetary? For Islamic accounting, we also identified the monetary and non-monetary, social, religious, and economic event. So we identified whether zakatable has been done or not, zakat has been done by the company or not, or what kind of sedekah charity that this company done to the society. So we identify the monetary and non-monetary. Okay, how it is classified: zakatable and non-zakatable, halal, haram, measured and valued, current value versus historical value. Okay. Okay, how it is classified: zakatable and non-zakatable. There's a few transactions that is non-zakatable, such as the money that we get from penalty. Money that we get from the penalty is not zakatable and cannot be considered as a revenue. We have to give out as a charity in the future. So all this kind of thing is quite different compared to the conventional. Conventional, whenever they receive the money, they will recognize it as other income or as a revenue or other income. So as Islamic accounting, whenever we receive income, we receive money from the outside people, from the outsiders, we will identify. If this is a penalty, you have to classify it as sources that you're going to give out to the charity in the future. Okay, to whom it is communicated, the user. So the user is a bit different. We have zakat beneficiaries, mudorabah depositor. It's a bit different from the conventional accounting. Conventional accounting, we have the shareholder whatsoever, but in the accounting, we add on to the zakat beneficiaries, mudorabah depositor whatsoever. Okay, how it is communicated: income statement versus VAS, etc. This is I think now we try to communicate through just like the conventional. We communicate through the audited report. We have the balance sheet, income statement whatsoever, just like the conventional. Okay, the need for the Islamic accounting. Why we need the Islamic accounting? So because of the push factor. The objective, the characteristic, the impact, the inappropriateness of the conventional accounting. What I can identify here is that the conventional accounting cannot fulfill our requirement, our need, because its objective is different from our objective. Its characteristic is different from our characteristic, and the impact also different. Okay, the objective. The conventional objective is to ensure that the end user can make better decision. Our objective to ensure that we comply with the Sharia ruling, Sharia framework, Sharia requirement. It's a bit different. So the characteristic Islam is more toward like social justice. Objective is to ensure that the society benefit from the existence of the business. So the objective of the characteristic of the conventional accounting, conventional companies, they want to ensure that the shareholder can make the most profit from their business transaction. So whereas the Muslim, whenever they do business, they want to ensure that they get the profit. Whenever they get the profit, they give out that money in the form of zakat, in the form of sedekah, to ensure that the society among them benefit from their financial transaction. So the impact is that the conventional more toward like impact on the individual, on a few people that have the interest in the company, but the impact for the Islamic accounting is broader. The impact is throughout the whole community. So what is the pull factor? The pull factor for the need of the Islamic accounting is the Islamization of the knowledge and the establishment of the Islamic institution. Currently, the knowledge about the Islamic accounting is getting better and better. Even in Malaysia, we have the INSEF institution that specialized for Islamic accounting, and in UKM also we teach about the Islamic accounting, and now we have Muhammadiyah, Universitas Muhammadiyah also maybe in the future teach the Islamic accounting. Okay, and then we have the establishment of the Islamic institution. There's a lot of Islamic institution currently in Malaysia or even in Indonesia. So this is growing. Why is growing? And the Islamic institution, why it is growing? Because if you look at the statistic, Indonesia, they have population of around 200 million Muslim. In Malaysia, we have around 30 million Muslim. And as we know, the Muslim society keep on growing from year to year. And the people who studied about the Islam keep on growing, and the interest on Islam, Islamic product, Islamic teaching keep on growing. So therefore, all this reason lead to the growing interest on the Islamic accounting. Okay, clarification of term. Accounting for Islamic financial transaction. So Islamic accounting. So we have the Islamic accounting and then Islamic financial transaction. In the future, maybe in the future, not now. So we studied about the mudharabah, musyarakah, murabaha. This is the product. The difference between the Islamic bank and and conventional bank is that conventional bank, they give out the loan, and then they charge interest, and interest cannot be charged in the Islamic bank. So therefore we produce product to sell to the public. What kind of product? We name the product in the form of salam, istisna, musyarakah, mudharabah, murabaha, salam. All this product, whenever we give out to the client, we have to record. We give out and then they pay back to us in the monthly basis, and then we have to record. Whenever we record the transaction, we use the Islamic accounting principle standard. So this kind of transaction will be, if we study we're going to study in the future. So what is the double entry? What is double debit? What is the credit for this kind of transaction? So it's a bit different. And in terms of recording it in the balance sheet and income statement, also it's a bit different compared to the conventional accounting. So, but it's easier for accounting student to learn about the Islamic accounting because they have the background. I still remember that whenever I studied in INSEF, my colleague in the classroom, whenever I studied PhD at INSEF, my colleague from a different background, they have a Sharia background, they have law background, whatsoever, but I from accounting background, I studied the Islamic accounting much better compared to them lah. Okay. Okay, component of the Islamic accounting. Accounting for Islamic business organization, accounting for Islamic societies and union, accounting for Islamic bank and financial institution, accounting for waqaf, accounting for takaful, accounting for Islamic government agencies, accounting for zakat collection and distribution. So Islamic accounting cover all these transactions. So it's not only about a few things, but it's covering all the financial transaction in the Islamic finance and Islamic banking. So I believe that the takaful also growing in Indonesia because Takaful Islam, a company from Malaysia, they moved to Indonesia and they grow their business very well because Muslim in Indonesia as well as in Malaysia, they prefer to take takaful insurance, Islamic insurance instead of the conventional insurance, so that they want to comply with the Sharia requirement instead of comply with the conventional. Okay, Quranic foundation, we have the Allah at the bottom line, and we have the accounting equation. So whatsoever it is, we want to ensure that Allah satisfied with what with our deed, and we also want to comply with the the IFRS if possible. If not possible, therefore we have to introduce our own standard. That's why in Islamic accounting we have our own standard. Okay, we move on to Islamic standard later on. Okay, Islamic accounting research frontier. So if this is for academician lah, you can search. You can produce the accounting theory, accounting information system, corporate reporting, auditing. This is for the academician lah, management accounting, corporate governance. So this is for the academician. They can search. They can do the research on this kind of area. If you publish paper in the Islamic banking, Islamic finance, is quite easy for you to publish, easier compared to the conventional, because the requirement for the need for the Islamic paper is there. So last time is very difficult, but now a lot of people interested to publish paper in the Islamic banking and finance, because reader want those kind of things. Okay, Islamic accounting standard. Okay, we move to the accounting standard. So we have IOFI. For the conventional, we have IFRS. For the Islamic, we have IOFI, AA or IFI. Okay, accounting standard for financial reporting by Islamic financial institutions should be developed, because in some cases, Islamic financial institutions face accounting problem because existing accounting standards such as IFRS or local cap are developed based on conventional institution structure or conventional product practice and may be considered insufficient to account for and reporting Islamic financial transaction. For example, under the under the IFRS, they prefer that whatsoever the product the Islamic bank sell to the public, salam, istisna, mudharabah, musyarakah, whatever the profit that generated from that product, the IFRS prefer that we recognize it as a interest, because it's quite familiar. They're familiarized with the interest instead of profit. So if we record it as interest, is it haram in the Islamic banking to do the transaction based on the interest base? So we can see that there is a different opinion in this kind of transaction, on this kind of classification. So because of this, the IOFI, they have their own standard. So instead of following the IFRS, some of the Middle East countries, they follow the IOFI standard, so that they identify clearly this is profit, is not interest. So however, the IFRS, they don't recognize the IOFI standard. So some companies, they produce both standard. They have the standard in the form of IOFI standard, and another report, accounting report, based on the IFRS standard. So it's increased the cost for the company to produce this kind of two standard. Okay. So in Indonesia, I believe that they also utilize the IFRS, right? You have the IFRS, you comply with the IFRS, right?
Yes, but for Islamic financial institution, we have our own accounting standard, Islamic accounting standard.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. In Malaysia, we still complying to the IFRS. So maybe Indonesia much better in that particular area. Okay. Islamic accounting standard, Sharia compliant transaction that comply with the prohibition on charging interest may not be the same as conventional finance and therefore may have significant accounting implications. Similarly, the Islamic finance industry is under great pressure to improve practice and improve risk management system and protect investor. So to be able to be able to be able to be identified as a Sharia compliant companies, public listed, all public listed must ensure that the interest-based revenue is not exceeding the 5% benchmark. So if the bank identified all the transaction as interest-based, is going to be exceeding the 5% benchmark. So it will not be able to classify as a Sharia compliant. So therefore, we have to recognize it as a profit. All the transaction, the product that the bank, the Islamic bank, sell to the public, they identify it as a profit. Okay. So they comply with the transaction. So it's very sensitive to the Islamic bank, Islamic finance about the interest. If the word interest is there, is a very sensitive word for this bank. Okay, many argue that conventional accounting in terms of objective characteristics and consequences is a negative force from the Islamic perspective and classify this characteristic as a driving factor that require the search for Islamic accounting alternative. So because of this negative force from the conventional, is it push the Muslim societies to produce their own standard, their own accounting standard, Islamic standard. So okay, Islam accounting and auditing organization for the Islamic financial institution. So the accounting and auditing organization for Islamic financial institution, IOFI, is an international Islamic non-profit organization that provides accounting, auditing, governance, ethics, and Sharia standard for Islamic financial institution and industry. It was established in 1991 and has so far published a total of 100 standards covering the area of Sharia accounting, auditing, audit ethics, governance for Islamic financial institution. IOFI headquarters are located in Bahrain, and the head of the IOFI is Taqi Osmani. Previously is a mufti from Pakistan, and he published a lot of paper. So it's just like Islamic banking. Islamic bank, they start from Egypt, and before that, they start from the academic paper that publishing about the establishment of the Islamic bank, how the Islamic bank should operate. So from that academic paper, it become a reality, become a Islamic bank. So we have the first Islamic bank in 1960s in Mesir, Nasir Socialist Bank, Gamal Abdel Nasir Socialist Bank in Egypt, in Mesir, started from the academic paper. So therefore, similarly, the accounting standard also start from the academic paper, and a lot of paper written by Taqi Osmani, and from there they start to establish their own accounting standard. And this accounting standard, the headquarters is in Bahrain, and they have currently they have more than 100 standard already, covering everything, the auditing whatsoever. So the growing interest from the public is huge. In Malaysia, the demand for the Islamic accounting classes is there. So we even have the qualification for the professional accounting standard, like professional accounting practice there in Malaysia. Okay, accounting and auditing organization. Okay, IOFI standard were developed in consultation with the leading Sharia scholars. So we have a lot of Sharia scholars with several countries implementing them. Although the IOFI standard are not binding on members, in recent years, the organization has made significant progress in encouraging the widespread adoption of the standard. So currently, only a few countries adopt the IOFI standard. most of the Muslim countries still adopt the IFRS standard. Okay, some utilize both of the standard in their reporting. Okay. Countries where IOFI standards are mandatory are recommended, including Bahrain, Malaysia, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, Syria, Sudan, and Jordan. So prior to the implementation of the IOFI standard, many financial institutions in these countries operated under a semi-regulated market, where accounting policies were determined with assistance of the Sharia Supervisory Board. So in the bank, all banks, they have their own Sharia Supervisory Board. So this bank will ensure that all the transaction is Sharia compliant. So this is how they operate right now in Malaysia. Even though they have the IFRS, but they have to ensure that the board, the Islamic board, the Sharia Supervisory Board approve all those products first before they apply to the public, they sell it to the public. So some of the countries make it mandatory to comply with the IFE. Some of the countries like Malaysia, we consider it is recommended to comply to IFE standard. So in Malaysia, some of the public listed companies, just like Bank Islam, they have two type of report. One utilizing the IFE standard, one utilizing the IFRS standard. Okay. During that period, the International Accounting Standard or National Accounting Standard were followed by Islamic Bank. Therefore, the unique condition of the Islamic financial institution are not met. For example, fiduciary risk, the Mudharabah contract placed the responsibility for losses on the Mudharib. So, transfer of commercial risk, where Islamic Bank roll out the return of Islamic investment account holder by changing the percentage of profit taken as part of Mudharib. So we can see the difference here. If you understand what is the meaning of Mudharabah, in the Mudharabah we have Rabbul Mal, we have Mudharib, and Rabbul Mal is the capital provider, and Mudharib is the entrepreneur. So Rabbul Mal, whenever they give the money to the Mudharib, if there is any losses, Rabbul Mal, the capital provider, will bear the losses. And how about the Mudharib? The Mudharib will bear the loss in the form of he lost his time, his effort, his goodwill, and the bank, the IAS, International Accounting Standard, they don't agree to that shifting all the responsibility of the losses to the Mudharabah, to the Mudharib alone, to the Rabbul Mal, They shift it to the Mudharib, which is not in compliance with the our understanding of the Islamic, the risk should be borne, the risk of losing the money should be borne by the Rabbul Mal. So, but we have a different opinion from the IAS. IAS said that it's supposed to be on the Mudharib. So, because of this differences, therefore we need the IOFI punya standard, IOFI standard. Okay. Transfer of commercial risk. By changing the percentage of the profit taken as part of Mudharib. Okay, so this is the detail of the investment account holder for Mudharabah punya account, Mudharabah account. So some of the profit we transfer to the Mudharib, and which is not agreed to the IAS punya IAS standard. Okay. As a result, with the support of the banking authority, the IOFI standard was established in an often fragmented industry. It is hoped that the development of IOFI standard will continue to advance in encouraging concentration in Sharia standard and driving further growth in this new market. So, because of this different opinion between the IAS or IFRS against the practice, the normal practice of the Islamic financial institution, therefore IOFI being established, so that in the hope that IOFI standard is more like can merge with the can collaborate better with the Islamic financial institution. Okay, international financial reporting standard. Okay, let's study this a little bit. The IFRS. Okay, IFRS is a set of accounting rules and standards that determine how accounting event should be. Okay, IFRS specify how business need to maintain and report their account. So IFRS being utilized in many countries. In US, they have their own GAAP, but throughout the world, most of the countries utilize the IFRS. Even in Europe, in Australia, in Malaysia, even in Indonesia, I believe that they utilize the IFRS. GAAP only utilized in America, so they have a little bit different standard compared to IFRS. So IFRS created to establish a common accounting language. The goal of the International Financial Reporting Standard is to make financial statement coherent and consistent across different industries and countries. In 2019, there are 16 IFRS and 29 IAS. IAS will replace IFRS once it is finalized and issued by IASB. Okay, in Malaysia, we have MFRS, so we don't study the Malaysian accounting standard because we're going to skip that because it's not relevant to the Indonesian. IFRS standards are required in more than 140 jurisdictions and permitted in many parts of the world, including South Korea, Brazil, European Union, India, Hong Kong. So many countries utilize the IFRS. If you take the ACCA, you can work in this countries because ACCA they study IFRS. So if you go to the US, they take their own practice, their own GAAP. So your chartered accountant, if you are chartered accountant from US, if you want to practice in the Commonwealth countries, is a bit difficult because they have a different standard. Okay, International Accounting Standard IAS and International Financial Reporting Standard are the same. The different between them is that IAS represent all accounting standard, such as IAS 17 leases, while IFRS represent new accounting standard, such as IFRS 16 leases. Okay, we completed this slide. Maybe we can go to the next slide. Okay. Okay. But this slide I not yet translate to Malaysia to English yet.
Tak apa, dokter.
Tak apa maybe in the future I can translate this one to English. This is the contract. Kewangan Islam. This is about the contract. In the future, maybe we can learn about the contract, because whenever you study the Islamic accounting, you have to study the contract, the mudharabah, musyarakah, whatsoever, so that you can know what is the difference, why this mudharabah, musyarakah have a different concept, and that different concept they have a specialties inside there. For example, musyarakah is a contract is a contract different compared to mudharabah. So what is the difference between the two? So whenever there is a difference between the musyarakah and mudharabah, the double entry is also different. Okay, but I have not yet translated to the English. So in the future, that maybe we can learn about this contract in English in the future, inshallah. So but because I already completed this slide, all 28 slides. If there is any question, I would like to answer the question right now from the audience.
Yes, doctor, we have one question again in chat room.
Okay.
From Muhammad Aji Nuswantoro.
Okay.
From UMY.
Okay. What will happen if a company with commission accounting moves to Islamic accounting? Is it will affect their balance on the financial statement or not? Whether it will affect their performance or not. I used to write a paper whether the performance of a company will be affected or not if they move to utilizing the Islamic accounting. From my research, I find that the performance of the company depend on the management, depend on the who run the business. If the one that run the business have a lot of idea how to utilize their asset to the most, and how to get the new project for the company, how to marketing their product to the public better. So the company, whether they use the Islamic accounting standard or they use the IFRS standard, that company will grow, keep on growing. So whether the company will grow or not is depend on the management. It's not depend on the which financial transaction that they use. The financial transaction, the accounting standard, IOF standard or IFRS standard is only to ensure that whether that company comply with the Sharia or not complying with the Sharia. If you want to comply with the Sharia, then you will you have the Sharia compliant labeling. If you're not complying, you will not get the label of Sharia compliant. So the performance of the company is depend on the management. It's not depend on which accounting standard that the company use. Okay. Any other question? I hope that I answered the question just now.
Not yet, doctor, but I want to continue the question from Aji. If we talk about the format of the financial statement, if we want to move from conventional to Islamic accounting, whether there is change in format of financial statement.
The format is a bit different. The format in the form of the name of the disclosure is a bit different. They changed the name. The balance sheet, in the balance sheet, there is a lot of Islamic term inside there. Compare again the conventional they don't have this kind of term, so it's a bit different. In the form of the name of the disclosure, you know, the name in the balance sheet is a bit different. So it's not much different. In the form of whether the company record more revenue if using the Islamic accounting or less revenue if you utilize the conventional, is I believe that is not so much different. Only on the disclosure part you have a different name, and the amount that you utilize is not so much different. Not so much. For example, if previously, if you are conventional bank, whatever the penalty that you charge to your customer, you will record it as other income for the bank. So if you utilize the Islamic accounting, you can charge it as other income. You have to charge it as money received from customer and will be channeled back to charity. So you cannot recognize it as an income. but you have to recognize it other creditor. So therefore, your revenue will decrease a little bit. But I believe that all the bank, they don't have a lot of other income charging from the penalty, maybe less than 2-3%. So your bank revenue will decrease by 2-3% only. Okay, so it's not material in the form. If we use the term, accounting term, using the auditing term, it's not material. It's not material. It's less than 5%. It's not material. Okay. Any other question, please?
Okay, any question maybe from the participant want to ask directly to doctor?
I have a question, Miss.
Okay. Yes. Name please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
My name is Muhammad Arif Sebastian Wala, and I'm from Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. So, actually, sir, I really saw the Islamic accounting system is used in bank and public companies. I always saw that in every company and bank use the conventional financial system rather than Islamic financial system. My question is, what is your opinion, sir, about this problematic? Can Islamic accounting be applied in industrial and manufacturing companies, or is it only can applied in Islamic banking? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. Okay, if you look at the trend right now, currently the growth in Islamic banking and finance and financial institution, the growth rate is double digit, maybe 10% or 15% or 20% every year from year to year. For the past 20 years, the growth rate is 22-digit growth rate. So the demand is there. Whenever the demand is huge, therefore we are slowly moving to that direction. All these financial institutions in the future, they will request that we use the IOF standard instead of the conventional standard, because the IFRS standard is not it's contradict from their understanding, contradict from their need. So therefore, in the future, I believe that the future is there. We are slowly moving into that direction, utilizing fully Islamic standard, Islamic accounting standard. So right now, we don't have so many professional people who can produce more standard. But in the future, I believe that because of the requirement from the market, so inshallah, we will have the professional people, the academician, who will work together to ensure that this become reality in the future, because the demand is there. Okay, so I hope that answer your question. And one more thing, this subject is not about theory part so much. This subject is about the study about the transaction. We go to the heart of all the product itself one by one, musyarakah, mudharabah, whatever, and we see the example of this product one by one, and we studied about the double entries. We are not studied about the theory part only. Theory part is one part, or small part only from this teaching. So in the future, inshallah, you learn about the double entries immediately and we look at the balance sheet, income statement, and the cash flow, whatever, and the journal entries from this product, one by one product. And whenever you apply it, you can see clearly that there's a lot of different compared to the conventional. So that's why the people that have the knowledge in this area, they promote it to they promote it strongly to the bank, Islamic bank and Islamic financial institution, to utilize the IOF instead of utilizing the IFRS. Okay. Any other question, please?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, next question. Okay, you can ask if you feel difficulty in English, you can
Ya,
ask
boleh bercakap dalam bahasa Melayu.
Yeah, in bahasa or mix, it's okay.
Arabic I am not very familiarized. Whenever I studied in INSEF previously, during my PhD time, because we are students that have been, we already work. We have a working experience. I'm from KPMG. I work in the Big Four. I work in the public listed companies. And whenever the lecturer introduced this subject, it's quite interesting because it's totally different from the conventional. So it generates more interest from the participant because they have a working experience. They're being exposed to the IFRS. So it's a totally new thing for them. So you can see the spark in the class whenever the subject is being discussed in the classroom. So similarly, anywhere I go, the people interest on the Islamic accounting subject is very high.
Yeah. Yes, doctor. Actually, for accounting student of UMY, they should take several subjects related to Islamic accounting in certain semester. If I'm not mistaken, semester 3 or 4, they will take 4 subjects related to Islamic accounting actually, but I'm not sure about the participant here, whether they are in the semester 1, 2, or they have take that subject actually.
You have 4 subjects related to Islamic accounting.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Islamic accounting, and then accounting for Islamic financial institution, and then Islamic financial management, and once more, what is Islamic economic, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
yeah.
Therefore, the student will get the exposure about the Islamic financial transaction, Islamic product, Islamic banking, everything, so that they can learn much better about the Islamic accounting. So, in UKM, most of the students, they only take this subject, this Islamic accounting subject. So they never heard about the product before. Whenever they never heard about the product, they don't know what is this product, what is the function of the product, what is the difference of this product compared to the conventional or compared to the Islamic product. So it's a bit difficult for them compare against your university. Your university much better, I believe.
Yeah, because we are Islamic-based university, doctor. We also want to contribute in the development. Yeah. Okay.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Okay. We have question maybe for the participant.
Any question, class? Anything related to the Islamic accounting or the conventional accounting?
Yeah. Okay, doctor, can I ask you to give suggestion for the student? We are as a Muslim student from Islamic-based university. Can you give suggestion how the student can contribute in the development of Islamic accounting?
If the student want to contribute to the Islamic accounting, the best part is that they need to have the working experience in the auditing lah. The best part to learn about this accounting is that they have to be exposed to the auditing. You have to practice in the audit firm, and if possible, audit firm that provide the auditing services to the Islamic financial institution or Islamic bank. And then at the same time, keep on learning, because accounting, whenever I practice in KPMG before, KPMG is a Big Four, right? So whenever I studied, I working in KPMG, they also request me to take a professional paper. And I believe that as professional people, whenever you work in an auditing firm, you have to ensure that you take the professional paper subject as well, so that that relate to the Islamic accounting, so that you can combine the practice and the academic together, so that you can see clearly. You can see clearly that where is the need, where is the need, the lack of the particular subject, so you can try to fulfill it. And in the future also, the best way to promote themselves as a student is that they have to keep on writing. They need to keep on writing, whether for newspaper or for magazine, or for, if they are academician, they keep on publishing in the journal, reputable journal from around the world, so that whenever they write, and they can do a lot of thinking. Whenever they do a lot of thinking, they can give more idea on this Islamic accounting. So they can, whenever they do the research, they do the studies, whatsoever, they do the writing. Besides promoting themselves, they also they will help the industry grow with them. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
I believe doctor also publish a lot of paper, right?
Yeah. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. The requirement for UKM, we need to publish at least 4 research paper every year.
Every year.
Yeah, every year.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Quite tough.
Okay, yeah. Okay, ada pertanyaan lagi from the student?
Ada pertanyaan dalam bahasa Indonesia pun boleh.
Yeah.
Saya pernah pergi ke Bandung sekali. And I believe that Indonesia is very beautiful place, where the people is so friendly compared against Malaysia. So sorry for Malaysian. Compare against the Malaysian, the Indonesian people sangat friendly, very nice people compared to Malaysia.
Okay.
Much better. Inshallah. I go to Bali. I went to Bandung. I went to Bandung so that I can experience firsthand, and it's very warm, very nice people there.
Yeah. Then you should go to Yogyakarta, Doctor. We also, our society is also friendly.
Very friendly.
Never ya? Belum pernah ya?
Belum pergi ke Jakarta. Inshallah in the future.
Yeah,
after the COVID, inshallah.
Yeah. Ya, oke. Ya, ada lagi pertanyaan?
Ada pertanyaan daripada kelas about the accounting, Islamic accounting class?
Kalau tidak, nanti saya tanya lagi, Dokter.
Boleh.
Okay. Yeah, Doctor. Actually, in the obligation of our student, they should write the thesis in their final year.
Okay.
Okay. If they want to do the research about the Islamic accounting, can you give suggestion about the topic that they can write for do the research? The topic.
The most interesting part to do the research right now is that if we can merge between the IFRS with the IOF standard. If there is any possibilities to merge between two, to try to look at angle where the IFRS can recognize IOF standard or absorb the accounting standard, IOF standard into the IFRS, so that whenever the conventional people also they study the Islamic accounting, so in the future it become a normal practice for all the professional people. They can audit the Islamic financial institution, so that this knowledge become broadened, become something like everybody have that kind of knowledge, so that whenever the Islamic banking and Islamic financial institution keep on growing, so the professional people is there to help them grow together. Okay. So you look at this angle, look at this how you can help to contribute in this area. Student can help to contribute in this area. The merge between the IFRS and IOF.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes Islamic accounting is new knowledge for our student, and we still feel difficulty to understand, to know the difference between mudarabah, musyarakah. Sometimes when we mention that word, it is also difficult for us because it is new for us.
Yes, true. Because why? Because that's why in this subject, the structure is that we we give a lot of exercise. We give a lot of exercise to the student. They give the case study, and from that case study, student will do the double entries, and from that double entry, they prepare the balance sheet, income statement, and cash flow, so that they can learn firsthand the experience of how to prepare the double entries from that case study. So in that way, that they will understand more about the Islamic banking and finance, product.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes when we ask how many students that have a saving account in Islamic bank, yeah, just a few students. Yeah, the majority of them still have saving in conventional bank, for example. This become our duty, the lecture, to introduce about Islamic financial institution, Islamic bank, Islamic accounting.
In Malaysia, it's very difficult to find anyone interested in the conventional bank. All of them move to the Islamic bank because we believe that Islamic bank can give better return and make us feel more comfortable, rasa lebih nyaman dengan Islamic bank, sebab kita rasa kita comply with the Sharia ruling, and at the same time we earn some dividend from the Islamic banking and finance. Kalau tengok dekat Malaysia, bank Islam perform much better compared to the conventional. The dividend that they give much better compared to the conventional as well. Takaful sama juga, takaful. Takaful compared to the conventional insurance, takaful perform better in Malaysia compared to the conventional one. So 80% of the Muslim people in Malaysia, they move to the Islamic financial institution, Islamic bank, Islamic takaful whatsoever.
That's good.
That's good. Inshallah Indonesia pun sama. Inshallah, hopefully. The growing interest is there.
Ya, masih ada pertanyaan? Sudah cukup jelas?
Sekarang ni the capital of Indonesia, they move to Yogyakarta atau kat mana?
No, they're still in Jakarta, but we have planned to move in Kalimantan ya?
Kalimantan.
Yeah, but it's still debatable also actually.
Quite a bit far from the Yogyakarta lah.
Very far, Doctor.
Far away. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Indonesia is a big country, and they become G20, if I'm not mistaken, recently. So that means that Indonesia moved to the developed nation so soon. So right now dia dah mendahului Malaysia dalam banyak bidang. So Malaysia dah ke belakang dan Indonesia sudah ke depan sekarang ini.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, you have the right capital, you have the human resource there. More than 200 million, right?
Yeah.
200 million. So everything is correct. Political, everything is correct compared to Malaysia.
Yeah. Actually, in the Islamic accounting knowledge, maybe we'll teach in only Islamic-based university, but now the public university also have that subject. Although I'm not sure whether it is mandatory or voluntary.
Okay, in Malaysia, not every university have this Islamic accounting subject. Even in our department, accounting department, kita mengajar satu subjek ini saja, Islamic accounting. The rest of the subject still conventional subject. Kalau nak ambil the Islamic finance, Islamic economic, kita ada department dia sendiri yang mengajar subjek subjek finance, subjek Islamic finance, Islamic economy. Tapi subjek accounting yang mengajar yang Islamic cuma satu sahaja. So yours is like much better lah. Muhammadiyah University ada 4 subjek dekat department accounting saja. So much better compared to us.
Ya, ada yang mau bertanya lagi? Islamic accounting? Atau mungkin yang lain related to Islamic accounting? Boleh.
I used to practice before in KPMG whatsoever, and they have a lot of project auditing on the Islamic bank whatsoever, and they tak ramai pakar, they don't have a lot of expertise, and the payment in the public in the Big Four is very huge. One project beratus ribu ringgit lah dekat Malaysia, beratus ribu ringgit. So there's a lot of potential for Indonesia, for Muhammadiyah Universitas punya student to grab this opportunity to mastering the subject, Islamic accounting subject, Islamic auditing subject, so that whenever you work for the Big Four, you have better requirement, you ada kelebihan, you have better punya opportunity to grow compare against others. And sebab apa? Sebab the Islamic banking and finance growth rate is around dalam 15% setahun. So that whenever they grow, you also grow together with them. So compare again the conventional dalam conventional bank cuma grow dalam 5% sahaja setiap tahun compare again the Islamic. So grab this opportunity to learn about the Islamic banking and finance.
Yeah. Okay, I think there is no question anymore. Okay, we can close this lecture, Doctor. Thank you very much for Dr. Munir for the explanation. Actually, it is interesting. Like I said before, that actually the accounting student of UMY, they should take Islamic accounting subject. Yeah, so I hope that this can add your knowledge, yeah, increase your knowledge about Islamic accounting. Okay, give applause for Dr. Munir.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Doctor. Apologies
for inviting me.
Yeah, we hope that we have other collaboration, Doctor, between UKM and UMY in the future.
Inshallah.
I mean, okay, thank you very much for all the participants. Thank you for your participation. Apologize for any inconvenience. I will give it the next agenda for the MC. Thank you. Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam.
Thanks to Mr. Ahmad for the attractive material. Hopefully it can help the audience to have a better understanding on Islamic accounting topic. And thanks to Mrs. Penny as a moderator who guided discussions today more clearly. Now it is turning to the last agenda, which is closing. As a master of ceremony, I do apologize for any mistakes during this event. Finally, I say thank you. Before leaving this event, kindly please everyone turning on your camera because we want to take a picture. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Once more. 1, 2, 3. And once again. 1, 2, 3. Thank you for joining this event and see you on the next events. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih Dr. Munir.
Terima kasih.
Ya, baik, kurang. Boleh live ya?
Boleh Ibu, makasih Ibu Penny.
Sama-sama, semuanya sehat selalu.
Amin.
Bu Fitri itu ya?
Iya Bu.
Iya. Oke, pamit nggih? Assalamualaikum ya.
Waalaikumsalam.
The soul of Java. The cultural richness kept maintained, bearing unpretentious souls, creating young intellectuals who are ready for the world. HUE, Born Muhammadiyah Association,